Hey friends, I'm Laura and welcome to my channel. Today has been a day already and it's only like noon, but I woke up and I found out that I had been locked out of my Facebook account. Somebody else had hacked the account, changed the email, changed the phone number, changed the password, changed my name, changed everything. Anyway, I spent several hours this morning trying to figure that out, and every time Facebook would send me a link to restore my account and regain access after authenticating my ID and my identity and everything, the link would not work. So I just got so frustrated. I spent 2.5 hours trying to take care of that this morning and to no avail. And so I feel like the universe is saying walk away, and was just feeling super defeated. And I feel like I need to pick me up today. I need to do something fun and make something pretty and just, release the cortisol and get some feel good relaxing going on here. So I took a shower because a shower always makes me feel like a brand new human. And I picked up supplies yesterday to make lemon blueberry cake, and I'm so excited because maybe do some other creative things today. I'm not sure if I'll make it into the garden or the craft room. We'll kind of see how the day evolves. It looks like it might storm outside, which might keep me from doing the garden stuff that I was hoping to do. But yeah, I just need to do some things that are relaxing and calming and kind of re-center me and re-ground me and bring my stress level down. So I thought you might enjoy coming along for a creative day in my life. I start by baking my gluten-free cake, and I love this little clip so much. You can see there's a cat watching me, and I thought it was really strange that she had so much shadow on her. And then my cat jumped up onto the table, and I realized this was recorded when we were cat sitting for my sister-in-law, and her cat is the darker cat sitting up on the ledge there, and my cat is the lighter gray cat that jumped onto the table. And for a minute, I was like, wow, my cat looks really different on camera. And then my cat actually jumps up, and I realized that other cat was not my cat, and that is why it did not look like my cat on camera. But they do look very similar because they are sisters from the same litter of kittens. And yeah, they look nearly the same, except for her cat is slightly darker and my cat is slightly lighter gray. Anyhow, I had that companionship while I was doing my baking, and I'll tell you what, I always idealize baking as this really relaxing, enjoyable, slow living activity, and I'm sure it could be, but for me, it always takes me twice as long as the prep time on the recipe says. Especially for this recipe, it took me like an hour just to prep. I had to wash the blueberries, wash the lemons, I had to zest the lemons, I had to slice and juice the lemons. It was a lot of work. And by like 30 minutes in, I'm thinking this is not as relaxing as I was expecting. The first 15 minutes were great and I really enjoyed that. But after that, I just kind of start to get annoyed that it's taking so long. So I'm still working on growing my baking skills and becoming a natural at that. And the cake didn't quite turn out how I wanted. It did not turn out pretty. It never dried all the way through to get the consistency that you would expect from a cake. It stayed really, really moist. And I think that has something to do with the gluten-free flour, but that was a little disappointing too. The flavor was great, but the texture was a little bit off and it just didn't look cute. And while that is baking, I headed to the garden and I wanted to check in on everything in my raised garden beds. I know sometimes I get stressed out because I know there are garden tasks that I need to do. So I wanted to take some time today and head out to the garden, look at everything, make a list of what garden tasks needed to get done, and then actually work on some of those tasks.
That way I can feel great about the garden, I can actually enjoy the space, and I won't have that stress of knowing I'm being neglectful, because neglecting the garden is not a good feeling.
There's so many garden things to do, but there are a couple of things that I really want done the most, so I think I'm gonna prioritize them. I need to water everything that's on my porch and my patio with water-soluble fertilizer, so I wanna make sure that I get that taken care of today and feed those plants, because I saw some stuff online where other people's tomatoes had way more fruit than mine, and then I found out that they are fertilizing theirs once a week. And I only laid down fertilizer, a slow release organic fertilizer, once a year. So apparently that is severely impacting my harvest, and I want to do something about it. So I need to do that. And then the next thing I need to do is these raspberries. They are growing out of control, like way over the fence, way taller than my head. If I were to like put those absolutely upright, they're really tall. Those are like 7 or 8 feet tall. So I definitely need to get after them. I want to go ahead and harvest all of the raspberries that I can, and maybe try to pin up some of these canes further back, or maybe just prune them. I don't know. I think there's still a lot of fruit that has to ripen yet, but you can just see how damaged everything is from the Japanese beetles there. You see those leaves? Like, they just look horrible. It's an eyesore. So I really want to do a hard prune on those. But again, the raspberries, like a lot of them are ripe or overripe, but then there's a lot like these white ones that still need to get ripe, so I won't be able to cut those down today. Just being outside is already making me feel so much better. I have my cake baking. It is taking forever, and I feel like that's how it goes with the gluten-free flours. Like, they take so long to bake, way longer than the instructions say. So I don't know if I'm just like doing something wrong. I added xanthan gum like the recipe called for, but for some reason it is taking way longer than it should. It was supposed to bake for like 20 minutes. It's baked for like an hour already, and it's still wet in the middle. So yeah, I'm not sure about that. But anyway, the baking ended up taking way longer than I was expecting, and I'm just now out in the garden because I decided I'm gonna leave it going in the house and get some other things done anyway, because I don't want to wait any longer. And just being outside is already so relaxing and calming, and yeah, it's just a happy place to be, you know? So yeah, maybe get some gardening done today. Also, our neighbors have this fig tree right here, and it's amazing. It's gotten so big, but every year the bugs eat the fruit before we get any. And our neighbor is so generous, and this is actually from the previous neighbor who lived next to us, and he was so nice and would give us fruit. And the current neighbor there is really sweet and says, you know, go ahead and pick any of the fruit that you want. So it's really great. We got some of the branches coming over into our yard, which makes it really easy to harvest the fruit. But every year the bugs get it before we do, and they get it before it's ripe. So it's really hard to like find any ripe fruit that hasn't been decimated by the bugs already. So I think I might spray that with some organic like Captain Jack's on our side of the fence, just so that way we'll have some harvestable fruit this year. So that would be really good, because fresh figs are amazing, amazing. So yeah. Oh, I'll show you one more thing, because it is absolutely thrilling. Look at this. Do you see that? Oh my gosh. This is the first year that we have ever gotten persimmons on our persimmon tree. I think I got this for my husband back in like 2019. So I think it's its 4th year, and we finally have fruit, and I'm so freaking excited for it. Let's see how many there are. We've got 1 persimmon here, another persimmon right there, 3. Let's see, are there any more? Oh, up there, we've got 4, and 5 up there. So this is so exciting. Very awesome. I wish I could grow all of our fruit and all of our food. Like, it's just such a cool thing.
Then to finish my creativity off for the day, I do some Bible journaling in a journal that I have, and just doing lots of mixed media, painting, and creating all these gorgeous layers on my page. I am currently doing a devotional called 100 Days to Brave, and then I create this gorgeous page where I'm going to take all of my notes for that entry. And that is how I finished off my creative day in my life, and how I turned my day around from something that was really stressful to actually being relaxed and enjoying myself and enjoying my time. And creative hobbies are just so good for mental health. I feel like that really is my happy place when I am dabbling in my creative hobbies. And I hope you've enjoyed coming along for this creative day in the life with me. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more from me. I have a new video every Friday, and I will catch you next week. Bye, friends.